Hello everybody, what is going on? My name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're actually going to be talking about Jodi Arias. Now she was born in July 9th, 1980 in Salinas, California. And she had a regular life. There was nothing in particular about if she had a bad childhood or anything like that. And she was definitely noticed by a man later on in life, a guy named Travis Alexander. Now, he was a Mormon. He believed in the Mormon faith. He went to the Mormon church. And so he decided to kind of bring her into the religion. So she started to study the book. She started to go to church services every single week. And she started to follow that lifestyle. However, she and him decided to have a quote-unquote sexual relationship. And what I mean by that is they started to have unmarital sex, which is not approved of in the Mormon faith. Anyway, so they're doing that. So now, Travis decides that he wants to marry someone that does not have sex outside of marriage. So he's already thinking to himself that he does not want to stay with this girl forever. So after a little bit of time, Jodi Arias actually decides to start stalking him, becoming really obsessive, has to know where he is at all times, has to know who he's talking to, basically goes over his house all the time, because he's living with roommates. So at some point, they do actually break up. And I think that's probably a good thing for him. His friends are all happier about it. He was happier about it because he was actually not happy in the relationship. And what actually ended up happening was she got even more obsessive about him. So she started to stalk him even more, showed up at his house randomly without his approval to come into the house or anything. She would just, kind of make sure that he's not dating anyone else, things like that. It is said that he actually started to like another woman, because she was a Mormon. She was, in that kind of faith and community. However, she did not seem to like him back in that way, so she just saw him as a good friend, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, Anyway, back to Jodi Arias. So, since, he didn't want her back in his life, they had broken up. Now, this is back in 2007. It went on and off again in 2008. By on and off, I mean they just kind of met up to have sex, and that was basically it. And then what actually happened was after they broke up, she moved to the same city where he lived. So they were, she moved close to him. And she did that for a reason. So, one day, she went over to his place. It was her and him alone. He was going to be leaving the next couple days for a work trip that he invited the girl he liked to go with him. I don't actually remember her name. I am very sorry. If I can find it or if I can remember it, I will put it down in the description. Anyway, so, she went over there and they started having, some sex and things like that. And they were taking, naked photos of each other, things like that. And at some point she, took the photo of him in the shower. Now this is a very popular photo. You can search for her and his photo of, his back in the shower, and you can tell who it is and everything. And I don't think that that's cool that his photo is all over the internet. Anyway, so let's move on. So she drops the camera and she murders him. Horrifically, by the way. I'm not going to get into too many details about how I do believe that she did use a gun and she shot him multiple times. There was blood everywhere. It was not a good ending for poor Travis. And so then she kind of just tries to clean up. And the way she does it, she tries to make sure that as much of evidence from her is no longer there. And then she puts the camera into the washing machine to wash it and then leaves. So the next day, or whenever this was, whenever after it was supposed to happen, I think it was the next morning actually, the friends all realized that he did not make it to go on his trip, because they all knew when he was going to be leaving and things like that. So they ended up going to the house, and immediately, right when they walked in, they knew something was wrong. They ended up going to his room, and they found him, obviously he had passed away at this point, so they found him, dead, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Travis. And they immediately knew it was her. They immediately knew. They called the police right away, and they said, I bet you it was Jodi Arias. So the police go looking for her. Now she decides to say, oh no, I was never there. I don't know what they're talking about. I was out with my new boyfriend, or whatever she said. Well, it turned out she wasn't there the whole time like she said she was. She had arrived late for her date with him. I guess she went over to spend the weekend or vacation with her new boyfriend or something like that. And eventually they got evidence because the police found the camera, and they did evidence. They took the evidence from it and everything else, and they found the photos. And it was determined that she was definitely still there because the camera, when she dropped it, took a picture. And they said that you could see her foot. Now, I don't know how realistic that would be to determine, oh, I know this is your foot. I don't know. I really don't know as of that point. Anyway, so they said, we know you did it, and they arrested her. Now, for her trial, going into trial for the murder of Travis, she kept saying, even in media interviews, that she was innocent. And as of this whole time, she spent 11 years in prison, in jail. And she still claims to the media all this time that she is innocent. Now, funny thing about that, one of her old cellmates actually went in an interview with somebody and said, she told me that she was not innocent. Jodi told me that she is guilty. That's what one of her old cellmates said in an interview. Now, I did not catch the name. I did not catch where the interview happened, like when it happened or anything like that. I just know I saw that at one point or another, that her old cellmate said that she was guilty and that Jodi knew she was guilty. I just find that very strange. So, and it's so interesting to me that after 11 years, media sources and all these people are still fascinated with this. People are still writing about her. Heck, I'm even doing this video about her just because of how popular she is. And the way she tries to hold herself, especially when it came to interrogation videos, which you guys can all find on YouTube anywhere. The way she acts is just very strange. I've watched quite a few. She kept saying, no, I wasn't there. I didn't do it. That's a lie. She kept trying to defend herself, which in reality, I don't blame you. Try to defend yourself, but at the same time, if they have evidence against you, at that point, you should be like, yeah, I did it. And come clean. And then there's going to be less of a chance to have, a worse case against you. So, from what I have gathered as well, she's going to be spending the rest of her life in prison, which I think is very important because I think she deserves to stay there. If you're going to murder your ex-boyfriend in cold blood like that, you deserve to stay in prison forever. So, you guys, let me know what you guys think, and go ahead and leave a like if you liked the video, and then if you could, go ahead and please hit the subscribe button, so that way you can become part of this little weird family that I'm starting to develop here. And also, if you like the video or if you have any information for me about Jodi Arias or anyone else, put it in the comment section down below. Alright guys, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.